Alright, hey there guys, Adrian here, aka JediBro95. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. In this video is going to be 5 to 10 mistakes 2K cannot make with NBA 2K20. There were some good things about 2K21 I mean. There were some good things about 2K20, gentlemen, but I think overall this game was just not fun throughout the majority of the year in terms of overall gameplay balancing and the fact that this game relied so heavily on RNG rather than actual skill and actual timing of certain things of basically anything. So in this video, it's going to be just mistakes that 2K cannot make with 2K21, and I'm going to be using not just 2K20, but I'm also going to be using previous 2Ks, as there were mistakes in previous 2Ks that ultimately did make um, future 2Ks and even this one not fun to play. So, or even just like things that were in previous 2Ks that we don't realistically need to have back in the game. So, with that out of the way, gentlemen, thing number one that I'm going to sit here and say that 2K cannot make the mistake of is reintroducing pushing back into the park. They cannot make that mistake again, gentlemen. You know, we had that in 2K19, and that single-handedly ruined park gameplay for about 7 months of 2K19. That single-handedly ruined the park gameplay for about 7 months, and that was unacceptable for 2K to even have that in the game. Like, who thought that was even a good idea to put pushing in 2K19? I seriously just want to know who thought that was a good idea. But yeah, overall, they just cannot make the mistake of having pushing into 2K21. So anyways, moving on. Tip number two. Thing number two, gentlemen. I don't know why I'm saying tip. Uh, uh, Mistake number two, gentlemen. This is a bigger one, mainly for the next gen consoles. Mistake number two they cannot make is they cannot have the same neighborhood for 3 straight years. In my opinion, that would even be low even for 2K standards, because we all know that we don't really expect much from 2K because, I mean, let's face it, it's 2K. Like, we don't realistically and truly accept a whole lot from them as a company in terms of business practices and even gameplay caring. But even just having 3 years in a row of the exact same neighborhood, I think even for 2K standards, that would be just too much. And I think even 2K themselves would sit there and go, it might be a bit much. So yeah, they cannot make that mistake again this year. Mistake number three, gentlemen, they cannot give us the mistake of not bringing back the My Player Builder that they had in 2K20. You know, the My Player Builder in 2K20 was honestly the best thing about 2K20. And I feel like it should be in every 2K, obviously with alterations and improvements and also different pie chart potentials. But overall, they cannot go forward with with my player creation without having some form of customization of the pie chart system, or at least with the like being able to pick what attributes you want to upgrade at certain builds. Like, for example, like if you want to have like not very much shooting, then you could put on, you don't have to upgrade your shooting, which, you know, I think is a terrible idea, because, you know, people need to understand that you need to upgrade your shooting just to be effective in this game, because uh, you know, people are annoying when it comes to defense. But I'll touch on that in a couple of points. But so yeah, like if you don't want to upgrade your shooting, you don't have to. If you don't want to upgrade your finishing, you don't have to. You know, currently you just want to define your. If they should make it easier to define your play style and define your role in your team with your group of friends and your team. And I think that is just overall the best way to utilize the My Player Builder and keep the My Player Builder the way it is. Mistake number four, gentlemen, that 2K cannot make. This is a personal pet peeve of mine, but 2K cannot make the mistake of not allowing, but of not having leave assignment. Okay, they need to bring back leave assignment into 2K. I have had it with people just choosing to not play defense on their men because of the fact that they're like non-shooters. It's so annoying and it's so fucking frustrating to have to go up against people who just play lazy defense. Okay, like I don't care if you help on rotations and you end up getting me on blocks when I'm on my drives to the rim. or you cut me off and get interceptions. I don't care about that. What I hate is the fact that people literally just stand in the fucking paint and they just constitute that as playing defense. And that's not playing defense. You're basically waiting for the you're just waiting for something to happen, and in my opinion, that's not playing defense. That is abusing a mechanic that everybody clamored for to get rid of because they didn't want to fucking play. They didn't want to guard non-shooters. And yeah, sure. I mean, guarding non-shooters is fine, but you can't just sit in the paint all game and just do nothing because there is no defensive 3-second in the park mainly. In Pro-Am it's a little in Rec Center and Pro-Am is different, but this is mainly just for park. Not having the ability, not punishing people for paint sitting in the park is just really annoying, in my opinion. And it's just frustrating to see people just refusing to play defense on their men because the fact that they're guarding a paint beast with like a fucking 60 mid-range jump shot. Like nobody cares. Like nobody cares if you take a midi jump shot in this game. As long as there's not a layup or dunk or a fucking three-pointer, they don't care. You could take all the long twos ever in the world, and they just don't give a shit. But yeah. Anyways, I got a little sidetrack there. Also, this will firmly eliminate everybody playing zone defense because, in my opinion, that is the biggest reason that everybody gets all these interceptions is because they play zone defense and they play passing lanes all the time because that's what the zone is best for. I feel like if you brought back a leave assignment and you enforced a harsh penalty on that, Pro-Am would be much more enjoyable because you would have to actually play defense rather than hiding in the corner and waiting for your team to play defense for you. Personally, that's just my thing, but let me know, guys, if you agree or disagree because I think that one's going to be really debated in the comment section if there is a debate. Anyways, mistake number 5 2K cannot make in 2K21 is having non-shooting builds make jump shots. I am so sick and tired of seeing builds with a fucking 53-point shot nailing three-pointers like they're Stephen Curry. I am so tired of seeing teams being able to run a fucking pure lock at fucking small forward and shooting guard with a 47 3-point shot and 5 shooting badges because 2K will allow that because that's just the way the game is. That and the fact that without people turning off their meter, it gives them a boost. That's just something that just should not be in the game. Okay, like if you have lower than a 73-point rating, at no point should you be able to green a 3-point shot even with someone passing it to you with playmaking takeover. Okay, like above a 70, it's fine without any help. But once if you have a 70 with like bronze catch and shoot, gold hot zone hunter, corner specialist, and someone with floor general boosting your 3-point shot up to a 74. Then it's a little different because obviously you have help around you. Like maybe you could turn your basically like ratings wise, maybe you turn your 73-point shot into a 76, which is fine, with all the badges and shit. But you cannot convince me, even with all those extra badges and all extra boost towards those badges, that a 53-point shot should still be able to knock down threes consistently. And talking about shooting this year for 2K21, mistake number 7 to 6. It's either 6 or 7. Mistake number 6. 2K cannot make the mistake of allowing so much boosts to people with no meter. Okay, like that is the reason the two-way slashing playmaker is so OP in this. It was so OP in 2K20 because the fact that if you put your meter off, you got a shooting boost, which is ridiculous. In my opinion, don't get me wrong, I like the idea of rewarding I like the idea of rewarding people with a shooting buff when they have no meter because it rewards people for knowing their timing. It rewards people for knowing, certain timings for any type of shot. I get that. but the boost should not be as big to where non-shooters are able to use no meter and then just green 50 shots with like a 55 three-pointer. Like, I feel like the lower like your boost, their 3-point rating, obviously the lower your boost, but the higher your 3-point rating, I think it should be a little bit of a higher boost. Not too much to where everybody is greening every 3-point shot, but enough to where it's like, okay, you feel a difference between no meter and a meter. You know, because I find this way it will also help curtail the non-shooting builds knocking down 3-pointers all the time dilemma that this game has had for the past 3 years. Mistake number 7, gentlemen. It is either 7 or 8. I can't remember which. I think it is number 7. Mistake number 7, gentlemen. They cannot make the mistake of having no refreshable content throughout the entire year. I don't care if it's fucking August, 2K. Put out new jerseys. Put out new clothes. And also make sure the clothes do not cost an arm and a leg. I should not have to pay $25,000 for a backpack. That is ridiculous. 2K, that is fucking ridiculous. I should not have to pay $7,000 for a pair of shorts. I should not have to pay $6,000 for a hat. That is dumb. That is absolutely ridiculous. And also, 2K, please make it to where you cannot buy clothes that you earn from events. Like, they literally thought it was a good idea to put the boot camp clothes you win on sale in swags, which literally made winning boot camp completely meaningless, because you could just buy the clothes and be like, yeah, I won boot camp. Whoop-de-doo. And, you know, talking about boot camp and events, thing number 8, gentlemen. 2K cannot make the mistake of not having punishments for fucking booters and delayers. I went and played fucking Basketball Gods with my boys Watts and Willie. We went and played Basketball Gods. We got kicked out of fucking Basketball Gods because some little weeb was too upset about the fact that people were trying to win and that weren't them. And so, therefore, they end up fucking kicking us out, and we ended up not playing the game after that. And then we decided after that, we made a vow that we were never playing any event again because of this situation. And I stand by it. Until 2K patches it, the only events I will ever play are fucking Core Conqueror. That's it. That's the only event I will care about. Maybe the Rush events, because Rush doesn't have as many lag spikers and delayers, because all you got to do is win 4 in a row and then you win the game and then you win the event. That's it. And with the Core Conqueror, you're just basically going up against AI, so it really doesn't matter. But those are the only events I truly care about and play, because everybody just delays and lags everybody out of events, and then, you know, it's just not fun. And then it's like, okay, you walk around with these things that say, oh, I won, like, this icon of Formula 2K, and the icon of Basketball Gods, and the icon of fucking Boot Camp. And I'm sitting there going, okay, cool, you won that event. Quick question, who did you have to lag out to win it? Or how many people did you who did you hire to help fucking DDoS the servers? Because that is truly what I believe, is that when you show me the logo of the event that you won, you're basically implying to me that you didn't actually legitimately win it. Now, if you actually did legit win it, then good for you. But the majority of the time I see those people, I'm just like, bro, you did not win this event. You lagged somebody out of it. Anyways, the next thing on my list, gentlemen, is going to be that 2K cannot make the mistake of having misleading build names. This year, you can make 3 differentiations of a slashing playmaker. You can make 5 differentiations of a facilitating finisher. You can make 6 variations of a fucking, glass lockdown. You can make 3 paint beast variations. There are so many different variations that 2K have in this game when it comes to in relation of builds and shit like that. I was playing Rec earlier today with my boys that you actually see in the gameplay, and we ended up going against another team, and they had a slasher that was shooting threes. And it turns out he was an offensive threat pie chart. So I'm starting to think, why doesn't 2K just show you the pie charts of the players in the game? Sure, you could have like the misleading build names. Like, if that is your jam, like, if a slashing playmaker can be made 4 different ways because of certain attributes, then okay, fine. But at least show the pie chart in question. Okay, that way I know, okay, if this so-called builds, if this slasher build has shooting in his build, then that means he has Hall of Fame shooting badges, which means he can shoot the ball. Okay, cool. Same with glass lockdowns. Same with fucking rebounding. Same with fucking like two ways, like two-way finishers. I've seen like 3 or 4 differentiations of the two-way finisher. And that's just really annoying to have to go up against, gentlemen. So I hope that 2K does fix that a little bit. Or fix it to where it's like, obviously you should just show the pie chart of the person you're guarding. The next thing on this list, gentlemen, is the fact that 2K cannot make the mistake of having no balancing in the game. Okay, 2K cannot make the mistake of having no balance between all variations of player arcs, pie charts, and takeovers. Okay, like, it is clearly obvious that this year slashing was the most overpowered thing in this game. Now, on one hand, I am happy that slashing was as OD as it was this year. But on the other hand, I start to think to myself, damn, this was really annoying to play to guard a slasher this year, because all they did was blow by, hop, step, and that was it. They had there was no other consistent balanced things when it comes to things in this game. Like, defense this year was basically square spamming again. Like, that's how you know there was no balance for defense this year. Granted, you can play all-ball defense. That's not the problem. My issue is the fact that this year they reward so much square spamming that it was just ridiculous. It's both on and off ball. It was just really frustrating to deal with. Shooting in this game, it took skill, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, though, there wasn't really true balance for it, as I mentioned, with the fact that non-shooting builds were able to shoot. And with guards this year handling the ball, like, it was difficult because everybody would just spam the fuck out of you, no matter if you had unpluckable or not, which was just unacceptable in my opinion. Especially if you have a high ball handling rating. There is no reason that a fucking offensive threat should be ripping my dribble ever. He should never be able to rip a fucking playmaker's ball handle, a playmaker's dribbling, like. No. Like, there's just no way. Like, you cannot convince me that an offensive threat with a 45 steal should be plucking my dribble. Regardless if I have unpluckable or not. Anyways, gentlemen, the last and final thing that's for mistakes that 2K cannot make with NBA 2K21 is they cannot make the mistake of not having at least the ability to customize some of the pie charts in the game. Okay, like 2K has some 2K should be able to give us some customizable. If they don't want to give us pure custom pie charts, which I can understand because there's only so much that you can customize, at least give us the ability to customize the current pie charts that are in the thing, you know? Like, say we make a slashing playmaker build, and we want to cut down on some finishing and some playmaking and put more towards shooting and defense. Then we should be able to do that. If we want to be able to cut down on some shooting and put it to defense, we should be able to do that. So, yes, please 2K, just allow us to at least customize the given pie chart options if you're not going to give us full-on customizable pies this year. But anyways, that is going to be it for this video, gentlemen. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you guys did, please be sure to like this video, as this video is approaching 20 minutes, and I didn't even notice that. So with that out of the way, guys, I'll just be quick. I'm out. Peace.